Are you alive? Nigga, I ain't never been a yes man. Are you gonna die? You can get murdered on webcam. I don't get tired. Sweat through a headband. You might look alive. That's cause you don't really know you a dead man.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Josh here. You are now watching I Stay Josh, and hopefully lighting's good. Lighting's good, Bree. All right, appreciate it, guys. I want to talk to you guys today about something important. All right, this is another blog that popped up for me recently. I believe about last week. Okay, it's talking about which vehicles do the worst on car crash testing, and some of these are going to be very surprising. There's cars, sedans, trucks, and SUVs. You suspect them to do better, but they don't. So let's go ahead and look here. All right, so the first vehicle we have, as you can see, it'd be the what is this? The Dodge. Ooh, Dodge has a few up here. That's not so good. All right, so we got the Toyota Tundra, we got the Nissan Frontier, we got the Dodge Challenger, Jeep Cherokee, and the Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Lord Jesus, Mitsubishi. That's the best you're gonna get from me.
What you talking about, Willis?
That word is definitely a tongue twister, and as you guys can see from my past videos, I'm not the best at these big old words. Alright, so anyways, what we're talking about is new vehicle generations all received high safety marks, but models due for refreshments can't run, running into a lot of problems. So these are newer vehicles, yes, newer years and newer models, but the sort of kind of crash safety rating is still outdated. Alright, so all the vehicles, nearly all the vehicles that have been rated from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety earns a high mark head-on and a side impact. So you want to test them head-on collision and side crash test impact, alright? So even though the body frame of the Jeep Wrangler, which tipped over twice during the test, does not have a full-strength side curtain airbag. So again, the Wrangler, we know these off-road vehicles, they're not going to have side curtain airbags because these cars are used to rolling over. Therefore, they have rollover bars as well with them. So those are some things to think about. Performs well in most of the other measures in the crash worthiness, but hey, it's missing side impact. Usually now they have the side, they have the front, they have the roof, they have even the seats have airbags in them to help out with crash safety. There's so many different stuff, and remember, the airbag is for that majority to soften that impact, because the car is going to crunch in no matter what, but that bag can help. Instead of you hitting a sharp piece of metal or hard piece of metal, you're going to hit that airbag, So you definitely want airbags surrounding you. It's almost like when you get in an accident, you want to be surrounded by an air bubble nowadays. Alright guys, so especially when small overlapping frontal crash test shows uncovers a whole new weakness to the frames of these cars. Performed on the driver's side and passenger side of the vehicles, the small overlapping test shows what happens when the front corner of the vehicle, 25% of its width, collides with a pole or another vehicle. Models that haven't been redesigned in the last decade or more don't have enough bracing or high-strength steel to help out with that particular test. So it's not enough bracing or structure to those sides. If you hit a pole on either driver or passenger side, it's showing that there's going to be a high risk of injury, and unfortunately. And the cars, like I said earlier, that stood out was the Toyota Tundra, the Nissan Frontier, the Dodge Challenger, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Alright, so all earned a poor rating for their ability to protect the occupants, the legs and foot injuries in this test. Alright, so leg and foot for the major part. Again, that engine bay coming in, these are big blocks. I know GMC is weird, but my dad had a GMC, and this is so odd, but the braces were meant to buckle and fall out. So when you get in an accident, the engine is literally meant to drop to the ground. That way you have that air, that empty engine bay per se, so that way it can compress easily, give it more crash room and more energy to take into the frame rather than that individual occupant in the car. Some of these cars, like the Dodge Charger, those cars getting the impact, you got that huge engine block, whether it be a Hellcat or a 392 or whatever, a shaker, and that just comes straight in on your lap. Before you know it, there's an engine crushing your leg. Not only that we have a crushing injury, but we're going to have a burn injury. So, those cars, like they said, just need to be able to update it. There's poor ratings on these cars when it comes to crash structure, and it's time to update yourself, because yes, we love the cars, but we want to make sure we can take a hit. That's why I'm a Chevy guy. The Camaro ZL1 I've seen in a lot of accidents before, but those airbags in there seem to work. I've never heard any crash issues yet. Of course, they're not on this list from Cars and Drivers when it comes to unfortunate crash test ratings, so I know I'm in good hands. Hopefully, again, I never have to worry about that, because the first thing we want to make sure is we drive safe and we don't have to worry about any of that crazy stuff, right? So in countries with looser safety standards, like India, for example, features such as the airbags and ABS are optional. You know, some cars, there are different models in India and other countries like that. So you don't have to have airbags. You don't have to have ABS. America, we don't play. We have to make sure we have that, because we want to protect the people driving, and unfortunately protect the people that we may have hit also. So we're going to make sure our cars grow with the technology as well. As short and sweet, want to keep it short and sweet for you guys. We talked about the vehicles with the worst test crash rating. Surprisingly, like I said, what killed me was the Dodge Challenger for sure. That's a big body car, that's a big boy car, so I'm surprised that it didn't really hit the cues that we needed it to. And then the Jeep Grand Cherokee, because that's a huge SUV. And you didn't think that occupants in that car would have any crushing injuries. I get the Challenger because the Camaro is very tight on my legs as well. And then the Toyota, what is it? The Toyota Tundra? Don't tell me it was the Tundra. Let's see. No, Toyota. Yeah, Toyota Tundra was one on there. And then the Mitsubishi Mirage. That's another big Nissan Frontier. So Nissan Frontier and the Toyota Tundra are trucks. That's a little crazy. I wouldn't think that trucks would be having those issues, especially the Jeep Grand Cherokee. That is the that's a big car, that's a big boy. But like I said, it is what it is. I'm glad to put out some of this information. Hopefully you guys can use it. If you guys have any of these cars, these are some things to look out for. Look up the recall. See if there's any recalls on this video, on these vehicles. And if you have any family, definitely, you know, think about that while having your families in this car. You know, if you, let's say if I had a Challenger, Dodge Challenger, and I knew it was crushing injuries on the leg, and I had my daughter up front, I'd probably just start putting my kids in the back, either or when it's time for a new car, you know, maybe until they update the body and get a better crash safety rating, switch out of that car. But until next time, guys, it's your boy Josh here, and you are now watching I Stay Josh, and thank you guys again for your time. I appreciate it, and until next time, I will see you later. Peace.
I'm willing to die for this shit. I'm ready to flip and end up in prison the rest of my life for this shit. So my mama ain't want me, she got in a bush and I end up surviving this shit. And if I want a son, I ain't got the money, I'll probably be robbing this shit. Don't know how much I cry for this shit. Said I'm willing to ride for this shit. You know murder's my hobby, inside of my closet's a bunch of dead bodies and shit. Niggas say that I'm cursed, cause I go to church and stare at the Bible and shit. Shorty say I'm the worst, cause I do my dirt and I don't be hiding this shit. Bitch, I'm a savage, I spit